walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. Hello Internet, today I want to talk to you about two things, so let's get going. Thing one, I'm just gonna give you a bit of off-the-cuff news. Off-the-cuff meaning she hasn't done any research on the topics. So the first bit of off-the-cuff news is that the Vatican is mad at England. Apparently someone in Parliament or some seat of power made a joke about the Pope, and so the Pope got angry, and then the Vatican got angry, and then the Vatican said, "We're not going to hang out with you anymore, England." The problem with that is that the Pope is kind of supposed to be in the forgiving business. I mean, if he's a Catholic, or a good Catholic. And just the fact that the whole entity of the Vatican is taking up arms against the whole entity of England for something that one guy said. I'm not sure why the Vatican is particularly angry about one guy who couldn't keep a good joke back, because England has been very fickle with its religions throughout history. Every time the country got a new monarch, the Church of England changed. So Catholicism has gone back and forth from being the Church of England and being persecuted by the Church of England. That's about it for that one. Second bit of off-the-cuff news. San Jose State University announced that it will be laying off 73 people because of the budget cuts. And that's because they couldn't handle their remaining funds properly enough. The other campuses within the state university system have been remanaging their funding so that they could keep as much of their staff as possible. Only 5 schools have had to lay off people, and San Jose is one of those 5. This kind of worries me a bit. That's about it for the off-the-cuff news. So, thing 2. Will Grayson Will Grayson. The first bit that I want to read is on page 45, and it's a part that John read Monday night at the book signing in San Francisco. I'm sitting here thinking, God, I swear I will take a vow of silence and move to a monastery and worship you for all my days if you just this once provide me with an invisibility cloak. But the passage that John read was even more interesting because he changed it. He opened that little speech with, "Are you there, God? It's me, Will Grayson." And that is, of course, mocking, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." And the reason why I found this very funny is because usually hardcore religious people do not like Harry Potter. So to ask their God for an invisibility cloak, which is from Harry Potter, is just a guaranteed thing that it's not going to happen. Added to that was the reading that John did Monday night, in which he said, "Are you there, God? It's me, Will Grayson," because apparently Christians don't like, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." And I'm not actually sure about that, that's just what Lena told me, so blame her if I'm wrong. I always do. Moving on, a little more serious, towards the end on page 276, when the second Will Grayson is talking to the infamous Moira. Will Grayson says, "Look, I just want you to know that while I still think that what you did was completely shitty, I realize that I was shitty to you too. Not in the elaborately shitty way that you were to me, but still pretty shitty. And I should have just been honest with you and told you I didn't want to talk to you or be your boyfriend or be your best friend or anything like that. I tried, I swear I did. But you didn't want to hear what I was saying, and I used that as an excuse to let it go on." And I love this passage because it is very big of Will to admit that. Mostly what I'm going to do from that passage is explain Moira a little bit. And I can completely understand what she did. It's not justified, and it's still not condoned, but it is understood. One of the first things I thought of when analyzing Moira was that she's kind of like Judas. If you don't know, in very simplified terms, Judas is the guy that betrayed Christ. Judas did what he had to do. Being Judas, he could do nothing else, because that is his nature. So Moira did what she had to do because being Moira, she could do nothing else. It's within her nature to be that way. She's not going to be able to change that without great effort and a really long time, and I don't think Will's going to be around to see that because I don't think they should continue being friends. They've gotten their closure, and they can just move their separate ways now, because I really think they need to, because Moira is not good for Will at all. Moira's not really good for herself either, and it's not until she realizes that she might be able to change. I'm gonna edit out that part that I said about Paradise Lost unless anyone who hears this wants me to talk about it later. So those are the things I was talking about, and this is April 29th, you guys. Oh my god. Bye! Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-dum-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum-ba-da.